Welcome to DSEJ Teleclasses, a digital initiative by Directorate of School Education, Jammu. Dear students, I am Mohinder Goswami. Today I am going to discuss with you a very beautiful story, The Fun They Had. We will discuss this beautiful story in two different parts. Okay students? And this beautiful story is taken from your textbook Tulip series, and it is lesson number 5th, and mainly it is taken from your prose section. Dear students, let's begin this beautiful story. At the end of the story, students will be able to know about the writer of the story. They will be able to understand the new words in the story. They will be able to know about what are the virtual classroom. Along with this, students will be able to explain the text of the summary of the story. They will be able to apply new learning in their life. Moreover, they will develop all kinds of skill, that is LSRW. Dear students, this beautiful story is written by Isaac Asimov. As far as his birth is concerned, he was born on 1920 and he was died in 1992. He was known for science fiction. Moreover, he was a Russian-born American writer. He has written many books and many fiction stories. Dear students, before starting today's lesson, let me ask you some questions. You just tell me that how you are studying these days, as all the schools are closed because of COVID pandemic. Okay, fine. Dear students, your answer might be that you are studying through online mode by using different social media. Might be you are studying through teleclasses, means classes that run on television, or you may be studying through community classes. Okay, fine. Let me ask you one more question. Dear students, do you know what are these? Just look at these pictures. Have you ever seen such kind of things in your life? Or maybe you are very much familiar with these things. Maybe you are not familiar with these things. Maybe your school is giving you homework through these, or may not be you are getting your homework through these. All these are mobile or computer based apps. In short, you can say applications. Dear students, you might be thinking that why I am gonna ask you these things. Dear students, you will get answers to all your questions in the coming slides. Dear students, can you imagine a time when all the books and schools shall vanish and education will be imparted through virtual classroom? Do you know what does the term virtual classroom mean? Okay, fine. I will let you know what is virtual classroom. Dear students, just look at this picture. You will get the concept. What does a virtual classroom mean? A virtual classroom is an online teaching and learning environment where teacher and students can present course material, engage and interact with one another through online mode. You just look at this picture. You will see a teacher is standing in the circle and is giving instruction to his computer. And all the students and all the persons getting the signal and receiving the information at their own place in their own computers. They are giving response back through their computers and receiving the signal or receiving the information through their own computer at their own place. Such kind of environment is known as a virtual classroom. Dear students, let's begin this beautiful story with the introduction. This beautiful story, The Fun They Had, was written by Isaac Asimov. The story is set in the future when books and schools are conducted digitally, similarly as we are conducting these days. During this pandemic, the classes in the story are taken by a mechanical teacher, means robot, instead of a human class teacher. Dear students, this beautiful story starts with the two children, Margie and Tommy. They live in a world where computers dominate each and every sphere of life, and how they attend virtual classroom. Let's read out this story and see what these two children say about their virtual classrooms. Let students read the story from the book. Margie even wrote about it that night in her diary. On the page headed 17 May 2157, she wrote,
Today, Tommy found a real book.
Dear students, here in these lines, the writer says that Margie is the main character of the story. She is the girl of 11 years age. She writes a diary. And on the night of 17 May 2157, you know, right, we are now living in 2021, and as I told you, this story sets in the future, and it is set in the year 2157. So almost 1.5 century. That means that is 136 years from now. At that time, Margie, this girl, writes in her diary that today Tommy found a real book. And you know, students, she is feeling so strange because in her diary, in her time, real books do not exist. They have only ebook and that are available in computers only. That is why, Margie got astonished to see the real book. Dear students, it was a very old book. Margie's grandfather once said that when he was a little boy, his grandfather told him that there was a time when all stories were printed on paper. You know, students, here in these lines, Margie found that the book was very old. She was told by her grandfather that when he was a little boy, his grandfather, means the grandfather of Margie's grandfather, told him that there was a time when all the stories were printed on paper. They turned the pages, which were yellow and crinkly, and it was awfully funny to read words that stood still instead of moving the way were supposed to on a screen, students, this book is something like a history for them, which they cannot believe. Just imagine, they turn the pages of that books, which were yellow and crinkly. You know what does the word crinkly means here? It means many folds or lines. That means something that is crushed. Because this book was very old, and the children found it very funny to read the words that stood still in the book. Now you know what does it mean by the words that stood still? As the words are printed on the page, they didn't move. On the other hand, the books that Margie and Tommy read were online. So, in the ebooks, how it happens? Words keep on moving. As you are watching in today's lesson, students, here your screen move, but this was different from those printed books. And when they turned back to the page before, It had the same words on it that it had when they read it the first time. So students, this was very strange for them. Now you have both kind of books. You have the books which are printed on the page, plus you also have ebooks where words are moving. So you can make out how these children are feeling. Now when you have a book which is printed on a paper, and when you flip the pages of it, you get the same text as before. But the screen, when we talk about the screen is the same, but the text is keep on moving every time.
Gee, what a waste. When you are through the book, you just throw it away. I guess our television screen must have had a million books on it, and it's good for plenty more. I wouldn't throw it away.
Dear students, these are the lines spoken by Tommy. He disliked the printed book. He said that this printed book was just a wastage because he felt that whenever you complete reading the book, you have to throw it away. You cannot have the same different story written on the same book. On the other hand, he felt that the television screen is very good because the same screen have shown us many books, and still it could read many more on the same screen, and we would not have to throw that screen away once we had read a book on a particular story. Okay students, of that e-content. So here Tommy is comparing printed book to a e-book.
Same with mine.
Dear students, this line is spoken by Margie to Tommy. She told Tommy that her TV screen was also like him. She had read many books on it and still could read many more. So here the writer tells us that Margie was 11 years and she had not read as many books as read by Tommy himself.
Where did you find it?
In my house.
What is it about?
School.
School? What is there to write about school? I hate school.
Dear students, Margie always hated school, but now she hated it more than ever. The mechanical teacher had been giving her test after test in geography, and she had been doing worse and worse until her mother had shaken her head scornfully and sent for the county inspector. Dear students, here in these lines, the writer says to us that Margie hated the word school. She said that what was there to write about school? Margie always hated school, but now she hated more than ever. We will further come to know that why she hated school. Margie had a school and where she was taught by a mechanical teacher. You know what does the word mechanical teacher means? A mechanical teacher means a machine. Okay, fine. The machine who was teaching, the machine was teaching to her. Such kind of school Margie had. It was totally different as we people had. In our school, a human teacher teaches us, but it was not like that in Margie's school. That's why she hated school more and than ever. One thing that is more worse to her is that the mechanical teacher gave her test after test in geography, and she had been doing worse and worse until her mother had shaken her head scornfully and sent her for the county inspector. Why did Margie hated school? Margie hated school because the school had a virtual classroom where a mechanical teacher used to teach her. The mechanical teacher gave her test after test and she was doing worse and worse. Now, students, we have completed the part 1 of the story, and now it's time to discuss the summary of the story, and the rest part of the story we will discuss in part 2. As far as the summary of the story of part 1 is concerned, this beautiful story, The Fun They Had, was written by Isaac Asimov. The story is set in the future when the books and the schools are conducted digitally through virtual classroom. Students, these classes are taken by a mechanical teacher, means robot, instead of a human class teacher. The story starts with two children named Margie and Tommy. They live in a world where computers dominate each and every sphere of life, and how they attend virtual classes. With the onset of virtual schools, the concept of books and classroom has transformed considerably from the olden days. As we people have seen these days during pandemic, you have seen we are not able to take regular classes, so we are taking classes through digital mode. In the same manner, in this story we have seen this thing. On 17th May 2157, Marky wrote in her diary about how Tommy found a real book. It was an old book that consisted of stories. Margie's grandfather once told her that when he was a young boy, his grandfather informed him that all the stories used to be printed on paper in those days. Both Margie and Tommy started turning the yellow and crumpled pages of the book to discover more about those days. They found it hilarious to read the book as the words stood fixed in one place instead of moving the way they saw on a computer screen. From this, it is clear that in future there will be the telebooks only, and no hard copies of books would be available to read. Tommy exclaims that it is an utter waste to read a book and throw it away once completed. He feels that their television screen has a million books on it and could store a plenty more without throwing it away. Soon they start reading about a school during the ancient times when the teachers were human beings rather than mechanical teachers. Although Margie hated the concept of schools, she is surprised to know actual person taught at school. This is because she has only seen robots teaching her at school. Moreover, she is not so fond of school that is next to her bedroom, as she does not have any classmates, and the mechanical teachers always give her loads of homework to do. Both Morgie and Tommy study in a virtual classroom that includes electronic gadgets, robots, etc. Their daily lessons appears on a computer screen which teaches them different subjects like maths, science, etc. Once Margie's mother called the county inspector to fix the mechanical device as it shows technical error, on which Margie attends her virtual classes. With these students, we have completed this beautiful story, and the rest part of the story we will complete it in our next sessions. Okay, now let's discuss the language work in the story. Now, students, as far as language part is concerned, you just read the sentence taken from the story. They had once taken Tommy's teacher away for nearly a month because the history section had blanked out completely. You just see in this example, there is written a word completely. Okay. Dear students, the word completely in this sentence is derived from the word complete. You know, the word complete is an adjective. When you add ly to it, it becomes an adverb. You just see that by adding a simple ly into that word means complete, so it becomes adverbs. Dear students, there are many examples of adverbs which we have seen in this story, that is awfully, sorrowfully, completely, loftily, carefully, differently, quickly. You just open your textbook and try to find out such examples which contain ly. You know, the ly words are usually, they are known as adverbs. Now, students, a question arises in our mind that what is an adverb? You know, we have discussed that the words containing ly, as we have seen in the example complete, which has ly and becomes completely, that becomes adverb. Now, let us see what is an adverb. If you see at this picture, you will definitely see the word adverb consists of two important words, that is add plus verb. It means it add something in the meaning of verb. This is not, there is not only a verb which it add meaning. The meaning can be added to an adjective also. Now let's define the word adverb. If you see what is adverb, the word that adds some meaning to a verb, adjective, etc., is called an adverb. Okay, students, fine. What I am saying, you just look at this. The word that add something in the meaning of a verb and adjective, that you can say is an adverb. Let us students now discuss this with an example. I can do it. She wept. He walks. You just see in this example, these are simple sentences. But if I add the word easily, to easily, what is an adverb? So I can do it easily. She wept bitterly. He walked slowly. You know, by adding these words, the meaning of these simple sentences is totally changed. Now, friends, let's talk about the kinds of adverbs. You know, adverb can be of different types, like adverb of place, adverb of frequency, adverb of reason, adverb of duration, and interrogative adverb. Along with this, we have adverb of time, adverb of manner, adverb of assertion, and degree or quantity. You know, it is the last type of adverb that you can say adverb of degree or quantity. Now, students, let's talk about the types of adverb one by one. The first type which we will going to discuss is adverb of place. Okay, you know, an adverb that indicate place is known as adverb of place. For example, please sit here, get, out, go, down. You know, just see the word here, out, and down. These words represent a place, and that's why they are known as adverb of place. Now, students, let's talk about the second type of adverb, that is adverb of frequency. You know, as far as this type is concerned, adverb of frequency, you can say an adverb which shows how often the incident take place, means how often, how frequently the incident take place is called an adverb of frequency. For example, she never goes to the temple. Here in this example, you see the word never. Okay, fine. Never word is an adverb of frequency. And in another example, they often create so many problems. So here the word often is referred as adverb of frequency. Okay, fine. Now, students, let's talk about the third type of adverb. The third type is adverb of time. An adverb which indicates something about the time of incident, state, etc. is called adverb of time. For example, the word before, soon, never, since, late, formerly, today, daily, already, yet, etc. are all known as adverb of time. Let's discuss this with an example. She goes to school. Here the word I have used word daily, so you can say she goes to the school daily. The word daily is an adverb of time. Another example, he played the game yesterday. They are coming soon. So all these words daily, yesterday, soon are adverbs of time. Now, students, let us come to the next type of adverb, that is adverb of manner. you know uh, as far as the word adverb of manner is concerned, an adverb which shows how the work is done is called an adverb of manner. For example, uh, if you see, he walks slowly. Here the word slowly is an adverb of manner. Another example, if you take, they did everything carefully. She did it easily. These words which contain ly, they are known as adverb of manners. Okay, students? Fine. Now, students, let us discuss the another type, that is adverb of reason. Here, adverb of reason, adverb which shows reason is called an adverb of reason. For example, uh, he was hence diverted towards other party. So here the word hence is an adverb of reason. In another example, she therefore will be happy to see you. Here the word therefore is a adverb of reason. Now, students, let's talk another type of adverb, that is adverb of quantity or degree. Here an adverb which shows quantity or degree, etc. is called adverb of quantity or degree. For example, I am extremely sorry. So here the word extremely shows the quantity. You are too late. She is rather foolish. So here the word extremely, too, rather are known as adverb of quantity or degree. Now, students, the next type is adverb of duration. Here you can say an adverb which shows duration is called adverb of duration. For example, she has been studying for 2 hours. They have been playing since morning. So both these words for and show duration, and that's why they are known as adverb of duration. Now, students, let's talk about the another type of adverb, that is adverb of assertion. An adverb which shows assertion is called adverb of assertion. For example, I am certainly going ahead. Another example, she didn't get any mistake. Both these words certainly and any, they are putting more assertion. That's why they are known as adverb of assertion. Now, students, let's talk about the last type of adverb, that is interrogative adverb. An interrogative adverb is a word that asks a questions. For example, why did he drive so fast? Here the word why is an interrogative adverb. And in another example, where are you going? So here the word where is a interrogative adverb. All the question words are interrogative adverbs because they are used to ask questions and frame more and more questions by using such kind of words. Now, students, it's time to think about the text and try to find out the answers that I am going to provide you. My first question is, who was the writer of the story? The fun they had. Just write down the answer in your notebook. My next question is, write down the meaning of the word mechanical teachers. You just open your textbook and find out the meaning of this particular word.
Now students, question number 3. What do you mean by adverb of manner? Give some example from your books. Dear students, my next question is, what did Margie write in her diary? You just find out the answer to this question and write down in your notebook. My next question is, had Margie ever seen a book before?
With this students, we have completed the part 1 of this beautiful story, and the rest part of the story we will complete in next sessions. Hope you have enjoyed this story. Now I would like to request you, just open your textbook and read this story once again and enjoy the beautiful story. With this, I would like to thank you.